Welcome to Jharkhand's first ever Global Investor Summit. Last week, we brought to you highlights from seminars on manufacturing and mining and mineral development, discussing Jharkhand's immense growth potential in these areas. Adding to that, this week we share insights from two key sessions. One that's focused on Jharkhand's agriculture and food processing industry, and another that highlights the role of education in crafting skilled manpower.
As we all know, the state of Jharkhand is more known for its mineral reserves, rightly called so Ratna Garbha Dharti, land of treasures. But we have about 70% of our population which is fully dependent for its sustenance on agriculture and allied activities. Agriculture and allied activities, particularly fisheries, have shown a great promise and potential and has seen a lot of growth in this state in last few years. This technical session, for me, therefore, is the most crucial part of this entire summit, as it is expected to give a 360-degree perspective on this entire vast and diverse sector. It aims to bring together various stakeholders in the value chain of agriculture, horticulture, dairy, fisheries, minor forest produce, which is the USP of this state, and animal products onto a common platform, showcasing investment opportunities as well as the strengths of the state. With impressive agriculture growth of 9% per year, contribution of about 15% to the state GSDP, agriculture and food processing is clearly, to me, a sunrise sector as far as this state is concerned. I am sure that deliberations during the session will help all the investors as well as us also to identify the key investment opportunities in this diverse sector. It will also create a platform for future growth of this sector in this state. Thank you very much.
We now have an address by our guest of honor, Mr. Randhir Singh, Honorable Minister, Agriculture and Sugarcane Development, Animal Husbandry and Fisheries, Government of Jharkhand.
झारखंड राज्य की मुख्य विशेषता ग्रामीण प्रधान परिवेश एवं कृषि आधारित जनसंख्या है। लगभग 76% लोग ग्रामीण इलाकों में रहते हैं। कुल श्रम शक्ति का 66.85% कृषि एवं उससे संबद्ध कार्यकलापों पर निर्भर है। कृषि एवं संलग्न क्षेत्र के सामूहिक विकास के लिए राज्य सरकार दृढ़ संकल्पित है। कृषि क्षेत्र में विशेषकर पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट एवं विपणन की व्यवस्था को सुदृढ़ करने में व्यापक निवेश की संभावनाएं हैं। सरकार की प्राथमिकता राज्य में बड़े पैमाने पर हो रहे सब्जी की खेती, फूलों की खेती को बढ़ावा देना है। इसके अलावे फूड प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट, कोल्ड स्टोरेज, दूध प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट में निवेश की प्रचुर संभावनाएं हैं। इसी प्रकार सरकार दूध उत्पादन, मछली उत्पादन, मांस उत्पादन, अंडा उत्पादन तथा दलहन एवं तेलहन के उत्पादन को प्राथमिकता के आधार पर बढ़ावा दे रही है। इसके लिए राज्य सरकार द्वारा कई नई योजनाएं भी लागू की गई है। निश्चित रूप से निवेशकों के लिए यह एक समन्वित अवसर है। वे इन योजनाओं के माध्यम से होने वाले लाभों की ओर बढ़ें ताकि राज्य के किसानों को उनकी उपज के उनके भरम के अनुरूप लाभ प्राप्त हो सके। मैं आप सबसे आह्वान करना चाहता हूं कि कृषि एवं संलग्न क्षेत्रों में उपलब्ध अवसरों का लाभ उठावें। निवेश के लिए अच्छे बदलावों का लाभ उठाते हुए अधिक से अधिक मात्रा में निवेश करें, यही मेरी गुजारिश है। आप सभी से बहुत बहुत सभी को धन्यवाद, बधाई।
With this, I would now request our chief guest, Mr. Sudarshan Bhagat, Honorable Minister of State, Agriculture and Family Welfare, Government of India. With this, I would request our chief guest, Honorable Minister of State, Mr. Sudarshan Bhagat, on the dais, please.
मित्रों, भारत की आत्मा गांव में बसती है और हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था का मूल आधार कृषि है। संपूर्ण देश का लगभग 40% खनिज संसाधन हमारे झारखंड में पाया जाता है, लेकिन बहुत ही कम लोग जानते होंगे कि झारखंड देश का प्रमुख सब्जी उत्पादक राज्य है। जैविक विविधता, अनुकूलतम जलवायु तथा विभिन्न प्रकार की आधारभूत सुविधाओं के कारण झारखंड में खाद्य प्रसंस्करण, बागवानी, हर्बल खेती के अलावा दूध तथा डेयरी उद्योग, फूड पार्क, मुर्गी पालन, सुअर पालन आदि क्षेत्रों में निवेश की अपार संभावनाएं हैं। झारखंड बदल रहा है। मेरा आप सभी से अपील है कि कृषि एवं खाद्य प्रसंस्करण के क्षेत्र में राज्य में विकास की प्रचुर संभावनाएं हैं। इस क्षेत्र में उद्योग लगाकर राज्य के विकास में भागीदारी बने। इससे प्रदेश के किसान भी फल, सब्जी, बागवानी, दूध का उत्पादन एवं फिशरीज के क्षेत्र में मछली पालन के माध्यम से भी रोजगार के एक नए अवसरों का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। इस क्षेत्र को बढ़ावा देने से झारखंड में विकास के नए आयाम सृजित किए जा सकते हैं। अब तक देश दुनिया में झारखंड को खनिज के लिए जाना जाता था, लेकिन अब झारखंड को फूड प्रोसेसिंग के लिए भी जाना जाएगा। मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है कि कृषि एवं इससे संबंधित क्षेत्रों में आपका सहयोग हमारे झारखंड को मिलेगा। हमारा झारखंड राज्य सामर्थ्य, समृद्ध एवं सशक्त राज्य बनकर देश का अग्रणी राज्य बनेगा और आने वाले समय में विकास की एक नई इबारत लिखेगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। भारत माता की।
Emphasizing on Jharkhand's growth story, a host of dignitaries discussed measures to raise Jharkhand's agricultural productivity and underscored the impact of changing consumer trends for processed foods.
Increasing consumption of packaged food, increasing demand for traditional food in packaged form. It is not that we only want Western type food, but we want Indian food, our traditional food, but in packaged form. And I think that offers a huge opportunity. Increasing consumer focus on value and increasing quality on food safety and on quality. If you look at our company, we are in milk, dairy, fruits and vegetables, which is all naturally healthy. However, the consumer is clearly looking for a health plus. So therefore, we are trying to move the whole into the greener space, which is towards nutrition and towards the wellness range. On the lower end, people also want to have some fun, but they want it healthy now. So therefore, what can we do to a healthy indulgence? So that's the next, or guilt-free indulgence. So we are working on two sides, the top end being that for health plus and the bottom end being really from a indulgence plus.
ग्लोबली सर्टिफाइड ऑर्गेनिक एक बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस है। इसमें हमें सिर्फ ये बात देने की ज़रूरत है कि हम सर्टिफाइड ऑर्गेनिक तो करें, बट एक क्लियर कट स्ट्रैटेजी रखें कि किस प्रोडक्ट सेगमेंट में, किस वैल्यू चेन में हम जाना चाहते हैं। क्योंकि अगर हम ग्रेन्स में जाएंगे, अगर हम ऑयल सीड्स में जाएंगे, अगर हम बहुत सारे लो वैल्यू प्रोडक्ट्स में जाएंगे, उसका कोई खास फ़ायदा नहीं होने वाला है, ना किसान को, ना इंडस्ट्री को, ना सरकार को। फ़ायदा तब होगा जब हम हाई वैल्यू प्रोडक्ट्स का एक फोकस रखें कि चलिए क्या हम दुनिया भर में झारखंड की स्पाइसेस को एक यूनिकनेस दे सकते हैं, क्या इसकी हम ब्रांडिंग कर सकते हैं, क्या 10 में से 2 लाख हेक्टेयर में एक बहुत बड़ा सर्टिफाइड ऑर्गेनिक प्रोग्राम टर्मरिक के लिए, जिंजर के लिए क्या हम चला सकते हैं। ऑन ग्राउंड एक्शन करें, उसकी ब्रांडिंग करें, उसकी प्रोसेसिंग करें, एंड यू गेट ए वेरी गुड प्रीमियम ऑन दैट। बहुत सारी तमाम कंपनियां दुनिया भर में जो कि बहुत इंटरेस्टेड होंगी अगर हम उनको ये प्रपोजल दें कि भाई हमारे यहाँ सर्टिफाइड ऑर्गेनिक है, और खासकर हमने स्पाइसेस में एक बहुत बड़ा प्रोग्राम चलाया है। बहुत सारे लोग आने के लिए इच्छुक होंगे, एग्रीएबल होंगे, एंड इट्स ए बिजनेस जिसमें यू कैन अर्न वेरी गुड मार्जिन, वेरी गुड प्रॉफिट, एंड इट्स ए विन विन फॉर एवरीबडी, वेदर फार्मर, वेदर गवर्नमेंट, वेदर द इंडस्ट्री।
Friends, as we know that 70% of people are in farming in our country, and uh, most of the employment is coming from the farming sector. So what we feel is that if we have to sustain the farming sector, we have to focus more on livestock sector. Livestock sector means poultry, dairy and fishery. And feed is a most important part of poultry, dairy and fishery sector, and it comprises of 70 to 80% cost of the farmer. Our Prime Minister has a target to double farmers' income in next 5 years. It cannot happen without focusing more on livestock sector and feed processing sector. I like to congratulate Government of Jharkhand that they have made first ever feed processing policy in India. We are setting up a feed milling industry. In first phase, we are building a poultry feed cum cattle feed plant in Jharkhand, and second phase, we will be building a floating fish feed plant in Jharkhand.
We should focus on limited number of areas for development of agriculture and agri-based enterprises, because they have to go in hand. They cannot be in isolation. So if you want to develop rural entrepreneurship, focus on few areas on a mission mode. When I say mission mode, it should be result oriented. It's not just the work, the result should be achieved. So I call it focus 5. Number 1, contract farming, commercial farming, enterprise farming. And then third focus should be food processing. Focus 4 is marketing and warehousing. And then non-food agri-forest enterprise. So I have put everything in one cluster. So what we want to do is, this is an integrated program which we should execute, and every link or every program should be successful in order to get the results.
Time for a very short break. We'll be right back to discuss the investment potential in Jharkhand's educational institutions. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Momentum Jharkhand Investor Summit. The state of Jharkhand, with its vision to become the educational hub of Eastern India, aims to educate its human capital and enhance their employability skills to international standards. In this segment, we highlight Jharkhand's efforts in creating a conducive climate for nurturing the higher education aspirations of its people, which is evident from its growing college density.
Johar and a very warm welcome to all in one from Team Jharkhand. This is a 2-in-1 session on higher education, skill development, and healthcare that attempts at envisioning the Jharkhand of the future, the Jharkhand which lies beyond the mines and minerals. And in so doing, we seek to leverage the rich human and social capital and the salubrious environments of the state. Thank you once again for being here.
Now may I request Shri Ajay Kumar Singh, IAS, Secretary, Department of Higher Technical Education and Skill Development, Government of Jharkhand, to give the presentation on state perspective on higher technical education and skill development.
I will just give a brief about higher technical education and skill development. There is a large scale migration of the students from Jharkhand to other parts of the country, like students who are passing out from class 12th, they goes to Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, etc. for the better education in those states. Now, we want to set up national level educational institutions in the state in order to increase the access not only to the students who are of Jharkhand, but people can also come from outside the state and have education here. We are ready to open new universities, new colleges, new institutions, but at the same time, we also want to strengthen the older institutions, the institutions which are already existing. And the second objective is to create a pool of skilled manpower through robust skilled ecosystem. And as you know, and the cabinet has taken a conscious decision to impart skill development training to 20 lakh youths in next 5 years. So my request is, whoever are interested, come invest in Jharkhand. Thank you.
Now I request the chief guest of the session, Shri Rajiv Pratap Rudi, Union Minister for Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, to kindly deliver the address.
Education in India always has a distinct bias against skills. And that is the challenge what we are facing. Because if you look today to the requirement, and this was the reason why the Prime Minister said, let's for a while take away skills from education and create an ecosystem which is survive. Now, the biggest challenge for me was to create the ecosystem for skills. Why we need investment in Jharkhand? Because Jharkhand today, if anyone has to analyze, Jharkhand today on the global map, in the world map, the state, this confined region of Jharkhand with a population of 3 crore people has the highest concentration of mineral wealth in the whole world. Whether it's uranium, whether it is coal, it's manganese. This is a blessed state. No, this state can itself take care of the whole country. But as I have said that now we have created an ecosystem, and just let me state it on record. When we are talking about Make in India, we are attempting to do so. When we are talking about Make in Jharkhand, we are trying to do so. And this whole thing which has been organized is Make in Jharkhand, whether it's education or industry or manufacturing. But Make in Jharkhand will not happen unless and until we have makers in Jharkhand, and that is the idea of Skill India. We have to create that manpower. Let's forget about everything in this state. If your boys and girls, अगर 10 साल की स्कूली शिक्षा में आप अपने बच्चों को कोई भी पढ़ाई ना पढ़ाएं, लेकिन अगर 2 भाषा, अंग्रेजी, इंग्लिश, फ्रेंच, जर्मन, स्पेनिश, आप 10 साल कुछ मत पढ़ाएं उस गरीब बच्चे को जिसके ऊपर आप करोड़ों खर्च कर रहे हैं। आप एक स्कूल खोल दीजिए जिसमें ये बच्चों को दूसरी क्लास है, ठीक है, हिंदी, सामान्य हिंदी और मैथ्स पढ़ाना है, उनको सिर्फ एक भाषा का ज्ञान दे दीजिए। अगर वो सिर्फ भाषा का ज्ञान प्राप्त कर ले और वो शब्दों का उपयोग कर ले, if they can speak French, Spanish, German, whatever language, their employability is 100 times more than any other graduate or postgraduate being produced in your educational institution.
We now bring you highlights of dignitaries discussing the various challenges being faced in education and skill development sector, which is the backbone of multiple sectors and industries.
What we realize, some of the learnings that we have, is putting up the lab infrastructure by itself is not enough. What we also need to do is make sure the communication of the excellent service that is being provided reaches to the target population. And that's a learning that we used to our benefit. And what we are deeply engaged in the last few months is doing a series of activities in which we are reaching the communication back to the villages, to the BPL patients, to make sure that they really understand what government is doing for them. A lot of the BPL patients probably do not know, they haven't been really aware of the services that the government is providing. A lot of education was done, and we are seeing the benefit of the same in recent time.
In my experience in Jharkhand, PPP, the actual purpose of the PPP, for most of you who may or may not know, is it is patient-centric. The toughest challenge is to improve the public health system because we have too many loose ends that has to be tied up. We are here to improve. I know it is a global investment summit, but investment happens when people are healthy. So we are here to take care of the health first, serve the last mile BPL patient, and even the private patients are willing to come to our lab today, which means the quality is being taken care of.
We really looked forward to the future in Jharkhand. Now we are at 4 places in Jharkhand. We are in Ranchi, we are in Jamshedpur, we are in Dhanbad, and we are in Ramgarh. Dhanbad I opened yesterday. We're setting up one in Bokaro. So we'll have 5 hospitals in Jharkhand. And sir, I'm willing to invest. You give me a reason. And my dream is to set up some unit in every district of Jharkhand. We have fund, we have willingness, and now you are willing too. So I think together we can do it.
We can work with the state and we can work with colleges, universities to enhance employability. The biggest problem that I find is when I go to colleges and when I start interacting with the students, technically they might be good. When it comes to the test process, they crack it. But once they come for a face-to-face discussion, they're not able to make the cut. So I think there is a lot of effort that needs to be done at our end. And when I say our end, I'm talking about the organization and the state to collaborate and enhance employability. And I'm not saying that the state has to do it, because I can understand there will be mechanisms and there will be processes which can delay the whole thing. So we can partner in whatever way we can to ensure that this employability is enhanced.
For us, Jharkhand has been a very important state. We have been innovatively thinking of hiring students from areas which are not in the mainstream. And last year we started an initiative where we said that we will have a separate focus on government engineering colleges of this country. So this year we went to around 100 government engineering colleges, and this is not NITs and IITs, right? There we all go and we all know that we have to hire from there. But from these 100 colleges, which includes colleges like BIT Sindri or colleges from Muzaffarpur or Bhagalpur or Darbhanga, and now a few more colleges which Singh sir is trying to open here. So I think future is great, and I'm sure with the leadership that is there in this state, there would be a lot of innovation which would come in this area. Thank you very much, and have a great day here for the rest of the day. Enjoy the event. Thank you for having me here. It's been a great pleasure and privilege to be here. Thanks.
And tomorrow, focusing on bringing Jharkhand's first ever Global Investor Summit to a close, we bring you glimpses from the valedictorian and MOU signing ceremony.